Okay, so our first speaker of the evening is someone who's outside the arts sector, but who I heard speak in just an informal kind of salon marketing meeting, and I thought that he had something special to share with the arts community and some really great information. And I would like to introduce Andrew Delaware, who is the I'm not even going to get this right, National Marketing and Communications Director of CanFAR. And Andrew's going to come up and tell us the breakdown of what CanFAR stands for and the very interesting mobile giving, mobile awareness raising, mobile marketing that they've done and have been sort of pioneers in this area. So if you could put your hands together for Andrew Delaware, please.
So I've been asked to come in and speak a little bit about mobile marketing and text messaging and what's happening in this area. Interesting, we have this new way, well, not so new anymore, but it's becoming an emerging way of communicating not just phone to phone, friend to friend, but also organization to people. Where there's communication, marketers want to get in there and get in on the action. And there's some really interesting ways that that can be done. So we've been playing with mobile marketing, and I wanted to share with you the real deal on mobile marketing. There are some great opportunities, and there are some pitfalls to be aware of. So let's go ahead. Canada actually leads the G8 in efficacy per research dollar in the HIV/AIDS space. And we are leaders in some of the biggest breakthroughs in HIV research. For instance, the cocktail that keeps millions of people alive today, we call it the antiretroviral cocktail, that was partially discovered by Dr. Mark Wainberg in Montreal. Mother-to-child transmission has been reduced from 60% to near zero, thanks to research work done primarily at UBC. And there are many more successes like this. Those stories have not yet been told, but part of my role coming into CanFAR is to help get that message out. So hopefully many more people like yourselves will know about the great work we're doing in HIV/AIDS here in Canada. So one of the things that many people know about HIV and AIDS is this symbol, the red ribbon. It's a very familiar symbol. And so I wanted to start with the red ribbon because we experimented with the red ribbon campaign in the mobile space for the first time this year. So the red ribbon campaign is a CanFAR campaign. We do work with some other HIV/AIDS organizations. We license the Red Ribbon campaign out to other organizations, but it is a CanFAR trademark. And on World AIDS Day, we usually have high school students out on the streets handing out ribbons and collecting street donations. So this year we wanted to bring the Red Ribbon campaign online, virtual, and start playing with virtual red ribbons in order to prepare ourselves with a big campaign which is going to happen this year in 2010, called 1 Million Red Ribbons, where we will be distributing 1 million red ribbons across the country, half virtual and half physical through the street teams. So a big part of that is mobile. So let's go ahead here. So I'll tell you a little bit about the behind the scenes, but let me walk you through the campaign. So our idea was, how can we distribute a ribbon through text messaging? And so this was our call to action: text ribbon to 30333, and for a $5 donation, which is added to your phone bill, you get a thank you and a red ribbon graphic. So, so the donor texts in ribbon, and I want to show you as we go along the actual responses, because this is an interesting piece of working with the mobile medium. Is similar to Twitter. You've got to restrict what you say to 136 characters in mobile, in the case of mobile. And not just that, but you have to play by the CWTA rules, which is the Canadian Wireless and Telecom Association. They have certain things that must be included in certain types of messages, which drives us crazy. So some of the messages are pre-scripted and we have no option to change them, and this was one of them. So this is actually coming directly from the Mobile Giving Foundation, who I'll speak about in a moment. So to confirm your $5 donation, reply with the word yes, and then you can find out about more info if you need to, or text stop to cancel, which is required as part of our messaging. So the donor hopefully says yes to the $5 donation, and then we sent back, thanks for supporting CANFAR on this World AIDS Day, ribbon here, and we had a very short link that people could then click on their phones or go to their computer and type in. Data rates may apply is required by the CWTA, which is a pain because that takes up a lot of characters, right? And then to join our inner circle, reply yes. Okay, and I'm going to dive into the inner circle in a moment and tell you what we were doing with that. But just wanted to give you this flow. So as part of preparing a mobile campaign, you need to come up with this flow of what the conversation looks like, make sure all of these little legal phrases are included, and then work with whatever few remaining words you have to make it sound as conversational and friendly and inviting as possible. So I'm going to be very candid with you about a couple of our hiccups. So we are very lucky at CANFAR in that there are a lot of media organizations that kindly donate advertising space to us. And one of the ones that did this for us was Skywards Radio, and they produce traffic and weather reports that end up on radio stations across the country. Fantastic. They gave us a huge swath of, we were on over 200 radio stations for 2 weeks leading up to World AIDS Day. Very excited. Hey, let's test our mobile marketing campaign, get people to text ribbon to 30333. There's just one little problem with this. Guess what law came into effect around that time? And oops, that really may not be the best place to be sending out this message. So, being candid with, you've got to think about where the actions are taking place. Now, would I still have run that radio space? Hey, it was free, maybe, maybe not. But it's certainly, when you look at results, I had to sort of temper my expectations on the results based on this coming into effect. There was so much, don't text, on the radio, the news report, don't text. Let's cut to the traffic, text this to, right? I mean, oy vey. So let's continue along. All right, and here's the ribbon graphic that we sent back to people as a thank you for their $5 donation. All right, so continuing along. So here's a little bit of the background and how it all works and what's behind this kind of campaign.